Well, it's been a real labor of love. I'm from Oil City originally and came back to Oil City in 1970 to take the position as Director of Family Service. And the agency was going through a real transition at that time because the former programs were under what's called Children's Aid Society. And at this time the county was being ordered, so to speak, by the state to develop children and welfare services. And this meant taking over the foster home program, and could have been also adoptions, which were the two mainstays of the Children's Aid Society at that time. So the representative of the Justice Trust came to the agency and said that they would like to see us develop in some new areas, since children and youth would be doing the foster home program, which we'd been doing since about basically 1887. We did retain the adoption program. This is the one program that we have from the former Children's Aid Society. So our name changed in the 70s then to Family Service and Children's Aid Society. Justice Trust was asking us, based on a study and research that they had done in the late 60s, was to develop a family counseling program. And that's where the name change came in terms of Family Service. So we did, that was my main responsibility at that time, was to develop a family counseling program. We started out in the transit building. We were up on the third floor, as I remember, and we were a staff of 4. There were 2 caseworkers. Esther Fisher was there, and Barbara Van Dyke. And Barb had been mainly doing the adoption work, and Esther was doing the foster home work. And so when we turned over foster home care, we had some other duties then for Esther to do, and Barb continued to do adoption, and I was developing the family counseling, and eventually brought Barb into doing more of the family counseling too.
When I came here, the agency was just expanding from an individual, like 3-man counseling team, to taking in services to the developmentally delayed in the area and homemaking services, and now we've got home-based family therapy and mental health programs in the schools and Big Brothers Big Sisters. So we have become an umbrella agency that can really provide service to people in a number of settings throughout a number of ages and life stages.
Part was that what helped in the beginning was having that research that was done, and where they were recommending that we need a private, non-profit type of family service counseling program. After with that, and then we started to become more involved with the county in terms of social services, and they started subcontracting to us. So I think we were trying to be very responsive there. Back in the 90s, a group of women came to the agency and were concerned about the lack of services for abused women. So from there, we started off with a program that was called the Rape Crisis Center. And this was from the request from the community, and it was supported by United Way as well as the Justice Trust. And then that program grew into having a shelter for victims of domestic violence, and also they developed a counseling program for victims of sexual abuse. Another time was, and I think this came, if I remember correctly, from the United Way, are developing the Big Brother and Big Sister program, and we're a part of the national program, so we go by their standards in terms of how we evaluate people and place children in that program. When that need was first established, we set up an advisory board because we felt we needed to do some research in terms of what the need was in terms of numbers. And once we were able to do some light research in that, then we went to our board, and based on the recommendations of the advisory board, decided to adopt that as one of our programs. So once it was adopted, it was just putting the name out and starting the hiring process. And probably, I think, looking back, that was probably 6 months to a year that we were able to put that program in order. The board has been tremendous in listening to these needs and being able to direct agency resources toward trying to meet them.
So one of the things that I value the most about the agency and within this program is a strong emphasis on how we're going to learn and grow within our agency. So in our program, there's a real strong commitment to ongoing training, and for our program it's really state mandated that we have a 3-year base training, but beyond that the agency supports us really developing our own passions clinically, and that's something that I find really unique in this day and age. There's a lot of cost that goes into training and developing a clinician, and that's something our agency has really always been committed to, that I'm very grateful for.
Family Services really tried to be responsive to the needs of the community, whether it was from research or individuals or another social service like the county offices. I think one of the things that I'm probably the proudest of has been the agency's, first of all, their ability to respond to a need. I think the ability of staff to work together, because some of these programs can be pretty demanding, on staff, and I think we have a pretty good support system, within the agency in terms of staff meetings, in-service trainings, family picnics during the summer, some light recreational kinds of things to help with staff to avoid burnout and this sort of thing. So I think the attitude of the staff, and a lot of this has come down from the board and the administration that supports this, that puts us in a good position to be able to respond to the needs of the community, and also remembering that we're part of the community. I always tell people when they first come in, the only difference between me and them is I've got the key to get in. We all have family issues and situations that we're trying to deal with, and I think the more sensitive we are and aware of our own helps us then to be able to help people when they come.